Welcome back to the Sure Group Show, episode 16. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our software provider and platform called Boomtown. So Boomtown is a web developer that has created some amazing tools for real estate agents. So check out boomtownroi.com. But here's the brief crash course on it. If you come check this out, our little setup here, this is our website. Our website here hosts our blogs, all of our past Sure Group shows, our listings, and anyone can go here and search for real estate all over the state of Maryland and Pennsylvania. It's a complete MLS with 100% accurate data. So if you just typed in something as simple as a zip code, or a school, or a town, or a price range, I just typed in 21224. This is every property in 21224. You can click it, you can see all the details, you can request a showing. It's a very beautiful site that has everything you would need to look to buy a home. Now what's cool about it is it's also our CRM system, our customer relationship management system. So anyone who's searching on here, we can see them over here. So Brandon, let me know when you got this shot in. We have right now 16,000 people actively looking at properties. And this is the back end of the system. So right here, 1 minute ago, 8 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, people are looking at properties on our website. And I can see everything. How many times they've logged in, how many times you clicked on this, how many times you've looked at it from multiple locations, how many times you've logged into the site. And we don't do that to be creepy or weird. We just think that's awesome for us to be able to provide value to our customers and serve you at a better level. So if we know you're really interested in a property, we might reach out and say, hey, do you want me to get a lender to run some numbers on that for you? Or, hey, do you want to go see some properties? So it's very important for a real estate professional to stay in touch with their database. So to recap, again, Boomtown has all the for sale data. So anything active on the market, anything under contract, you can see it all at suresalesgroup.com. But here's what was just announced at Boomtown Unite, which is a conference held every year in South Carolina. More on that later. They just released all the sold data, which means if you're a member on our site, if you just click around, it'll ask you to become a member and you have full access to this. You can look at every house that's ever sold in Maryland. So why is that important? If you're living in a neighborhood, say Canton, and you want to see every house that's sold in the last year within a block of your house, you can do that in an instant. You can see any number of pieces of data, charts, graphs, very easily. So you, as a real estate consumer or someone who might be interested in real estate, can get all that information and make your own conclusions and bounce it off professionals and just be really knowledgeable. That data was very hard to get. You can't get it on Zillow, not accurately. You can't get it on any other third-party site. This is very new, and it's the first time it's ever been available to the public to have complete, unadulterated access to active, under contract, and sold data on one website. So that's what you're going to get at suresalesgroup.com. This is coming out in mid-May. So in a couple weeks, you're going to be able to do that. And finally, it's a predictive CRM. And what that means is, since it's gathering all this information about who's looking and what areas they're looking in, it can predict who might be a good fit for your home. So what I love to do is when a seller goes, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, and we're going through our presentation, showing them what we do and why we do it and how we do it, I say, let's just plug your address into our database. We have 16,000 people looking to buy real estate, and we know where they are in their process. We'll type in the address. It goes, ping, here's 170 people who are very likely to be interested in this house based on the size, location, price. That's nuts. And it's only getting better. So Boomtown does all that for us. And the reason I'm telling you about Boomtown is I wanted to talk about this conference that just concluded in March. It was middle of March in Charleston, South Carolina. They invited our team down, and they invited me to be on one of the panels. And the panel they wanted me to be on at Boomtown Unite 2017 was transitioning from a mega agent to a mega leader. Really flattering. And the reason they were doing it is because we've had a lot of success with their system. But just to pull out the humble card here, I'm still learning. I keep this on me all the time so my head doesn't get too big. But it was very fun to be on stage with another kind of, he far out produces what we do. We were with the #1 Berkshire Hathaway agent on the planet. His name's Jeff Cohen. And some of the things we talked about were working on the business versus in the business, selling your business, selling your team, which is a stupid question because no one would ever want to sell their team, but we talk about that. The standards we have, big teams versus small teams, and some of the structure that you have to have in place in order to succeed at a high level. And when we say succeed at a high level, it's not about making as much money as you can, but it's about serving as many people the way they deserve to be served in the industry. So remember that a team always outproduces an individual, and we have a whole team and structure in place to serve people at the best we know how to do it, and we're leveraging the best technology companies around the country to help us do that. So take a look at the video. It's kind of chopped up. We had an hour talk, and we were able to kind of pull apart some of my pieces if you wanted to take a look and see what that looked like down in Charleston in March. Thanks, guys. Bye.
So let's explain who Andrew is and who Jeff is, because these are two different positions and people, right? You are the mega agent right now, trying to be a mega leader. Is that correct?
That's right.
That's right. All right, so Andrew, can you tell them where you're from and kind of what you do right now as a mega agent?
So Andrew, I'm from Baltimore. We have a team called the Sure Sales Group. We got 4 of us here sitting in the front row, making me feel at home. Again, from Baltimore. I like to think I'm a mega leader as well. But I'm also, we have an interesting thing going on our team where we have 2 team leaders, which is a different dynamic. We're both, as the team leaders, also the top producers on the team. And we're going to do probably 400 units this year with 1 admin and an ISA and an OSA. So what's different about what we have going on is, there's a lot of models out there. Hey, get 2 buyer's agents, get this coordination, get all this admin. You got to be careful because there's no right, perfect way to do it. The way we've done it to this point is, how did we be as profitable as we can? So that's kind of what I have going on, and it's hard to, when you're in such a high commission split as the team leader and the mega agent, you don't want to give away too much, but you have to give away some because you can't do it all. So that's kind of what we have going on in our dynamic. 400 units, 1 admin, 2 team leaders. So if there's any questions about that in the future, that's kind of where we are.
And the reality is that a lot of even mega teams exist because of the mega agent's sales. And so when I look at teams, I don't really truly believe it's a team if the mega agent's doing over 50% of the transactions. But a lot of times when you look at teams, they are.
See, the one thing that I'd have to not disagree with, but just say it's a difference of opinion, is you have to be a practitioner first. Nobody became a mega leader, mega team agent, whatever you want to call it, without really kicking ass and really knowing Boomtown, knowing the systems, knowing the ISA, knowing the OSA role, getting a good admin. And I guess one of my fears is as we grow and everyone tries to jam you up with that model, hey man, we got to get you out of production. You can't be selling that many homes. Like I'm personally, my partner here and I, maybe between the 2 of us, sell 120 homes, and then our team does another 300. It's like, hey, I kind of like doing this. I like being a practitioner. I like, learning the little nooks and crannies of Boomtown and executing it. Like I'd like to know, we both work with buyers and sellers. When I tell people that, they're like, you work with buyers too? So yeah, and so does my partner, so does everyone on our team works with buyers and sellers. So there's this model that a lot of the brokerages preach, which is here's the deal, and Jeff, you've done it magnificently. I actually called Jeff one time, a couple years ago, and I said, Jeff, I don't want to come to Omaha and do the whole thing, I don't have enough time, so I'm going to produce and work my ass off. But I do want access to your Google Drive. And Jeff was such a nice guy, and I reminded him, he didn't remember this. He was okay, and I gave him a fee, and I took it. But being a practitioner is really important too, and I think people get away from that, and it's dangerous because if you completely replace yourself, it's easier to lose your team if you're not a great leader. But being in the trenches is something I see the picture, and I'm sure people in the same room are like, yeah, I get it. It sounds sexy, I don't even have to work, my team does everything, but if you're not the best, what they call the best salesperson in any company? CEO. Across the board. So you have to be a killer before you can step out of that role and know you can't manage anyone else on a task or a system or a platform until you yourself have mastered it. So Jeff, do you still feel like you would be the best listing agent on your team if you chose to be and you were given equal opportunity?
Not anymore, because I'm sick of working with sellers.
That's the thing.
Someone in the crowd says, how much of your profit was from working in your business in production versus working on your business as a leader?
Okay, that's a good question. A lot more of the profit was from me working in the business. I think I personally did right around 70 transactions, maybe 21 million myself at a very high split. So you do the math, that's a lot of money. But we also, I don't want to divulge the books too much. I got my ISA right here. I got 2 of our agents and our team leader, Joe. I didn't make nearly as much. I'd say 80%, pretty close to that number, was working in the business. But at the same time, where I was going with that is, I'm still not at a point because I don't feel like, well, I need to be in the business so I know how to put the seats in the right places on the bus. So I've only been in the business for 4 years on the resale side. So as you grow, it's great to have that idea, but all these people, they already do it. I just need to do this. Well, like there's no right or wrong way. There's best practices, but I look at it like, you know, if you go by the KW models or some of the things you train, it's like, oh, as soon as you do 30 deals, you need to have this admin, and then to do the next 30 deals, you need this admin. I'm like, hey, we're at 401. But again, I'm working my ass off. I'm sure at some point maybe you burn out. You know, I just had my first baby, so maybe this will change and evolve. I'm sure it will. But I'm glad I took this path, because now when I do step out, if I step out, when I step out, I'll know what it's like.
Question for you, Andrew, from the audience. Andrew, is your intention to create a business you can sell? If so, how would you value it? If not, what's your exit strategy?
We ask that question all the time. Valuing teams is a new thing. There's no, I don't think, any set algorithm, for lack of a better term, to determine what a team is worth. But I know this, if you're the #1 agent on the team or you're the top producer, it's not worth nearly as much as if you completely remove yourself. I get that concept. The question was, am I trying to do that? I'm still trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. I'm just having a lot of fun. I love coming to these conferences. I love working with our team. I love, like, Boomtown. I get so excited when Boomtown releases stuff today. When Greer was up, I said, oh my God, is he going to release the seller data? Like, that was so fun for me. So I'm in it, and I love that at this point. I think I am on the path to doing that. But there's a lot of things that need to happen in place, and I like the way that our team does it, and I like the organic path we have chosen to grow it. Because it's different. It's not exactly what KW said to do. It's not exactly what the lead real estate system said to do. It's what we're organically doing. But if I had to value it, I've heard a couple different things. Like, the common business valuation is 3 times earnings. So if you took 3 times your net profit and you weren't in the business, I think that's a fair valuation. But I don't know if I want to sell the team, and then I just don't know if I want to sell it.
Yeah, let me take this one to save you a little bit too, Andrew. I don't think any of us got into real estate to say, ooh, I want to build a really badass team so I can sell it. I hate the question, because everyone wants us to think about that question, and I don't think that's anyone's goal. We don't get rich by building a real estate team and selling it. We get rich by how we choose to deploy the capital that we earn off the real estate sales.
I feel like I'm talking to Kobe Bryant here, who's still in the game, and then Charles Barkley. We're all like the TNT, and he's just coming in.
Terrible.
I'm sorry. I just was like, if I have an opportunity to tell you.
You gotta get out of this.
He's Charles Barkley. He said what was on his mind. He's like, I hate that one question. What are some standards that you guys put in your business?
Essentially.
You have some standards.
We got some standards. We have a weekly meeting. The one thing I really like on the sales team, which really has helped us a lot, is the scoreboard. I'm sure you guys do it too. When we have our weekly meeting, this is how we do it. Stand up there with the whiteboard. Active listings, pending total contract, pending volume, close volume. And no one wants to be the person who's not, didn't do anything for the week. So we call it status quo. So if you go status quo for the week, you know, what we don't have is these consequences. So what I'm struggling with is this accountability piece. I'm out there running around selling everything. I'm like, okay, you got to get back to your files, close your deals, take your commission checks. But that's a really important piece, and I really like what you said there. That because if you're a producer, okay, you don't have to go to the training or go to the dialogue. But if you are not a producer,
It's just if you're not a goal. A lot of producers are constantly killing it for 3 months and then no sales for 2 months. Like, I'd rather have twice as many agents so we can sell twice as many houses. So we're working really hard this year to double our team size. We'd like to end the year at 60 full-time.
See, that's what's crazy to me, like 60 agents to do 600. We have 10 agents, we're gonna do 450.
And with 60 agents, we're gonna do 1,200.
Okay. But
We
30,
got 22 agents that did
30
600.
agents, you're doing 600, which is phenomenal. No one's gonna argue with that. But when you build it out so big, the way I see it is, you know, you get a couple pieces of sand in this machine that's cranking and doing all this crazy stuff, and someone's always gotta be there to lube it up.
Yep, just like any business.
Yeah. So that's something you have to be willing to do. And I'm not sure if everyone wants to do that. But that just seems like just so much work, and we're so removed. There's
Work for who?
Right, you gotta find the right, back to it. But Tim Hiles kind of summed this whole concept up of removing yourself from the business last night. But in order to do that, it seems like if you want to get big, you want to remove yourself. If you want to remove yourself from your business, you have to get big. There's no staying small, so you need to have all these people in the buses.
And then you hold them accountable. Agents aren't allowed to contact me. Admin aren't allowed to contact me. I don't mean that negatively.
What a kiss.
There's just too many people
Amazing.
within the organization that if everyone was reaching out, so they reach out to Andy and Kevin, and I'll say that's a Kevin question, that's an Andy question, that's an admin question. That's the best place to be, is have someone else that answers all the questions that people once were asking you.
That just sold me on it. I want to get big.
And there's space open and open.
That's a Danielle question. I'm golfing. You knew I was golfing. My big takeaway from that is I think that is the right way. You have one person who runs the sales team who's got to be an excellent salesperson. Worthy of you have to build a team where the people are worthy of having their own team, but that you have enough value where they want to stick with you. One person runs the sales team, one person runs the admin team. And they both directly report to you every day or just one day?
It's once a week intentionally, but we see each other every day.
Right, so you're both doing it. Hey, Jeff's workshop, somehow I came across that like 3 years ago. It's so funny talking to you about it now. So I said, I need that. I want to go to that. So I go, and I just called him. I said, just give me your Google Drive, bro. I saw all the stuff, not coming. Give me the Google Drive.
And he said he didn't come because he didn't have what? Time.
Ooh. I don't want you to drink.
All right, that's our last question for the panelists. What's one book you would recommend that you've read, that you read over and over again, other than Millionaire?
I'm ready.
You said.
5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. That's the best book. Your whole organization should read it.
I love that book.
Who here has already read it? With those hands up, who agrees that if you haven't read it, you should? So that's a great one. The other one would be 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. If you haven't read it, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie, The One Thing by Gary Keller. Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you're wanting to leverage out and grow big, you have to read Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Rich Dad Poor Dad for investing.
The one that I like, those are all really good. I've read all those, and like 7 Levels of Communication and the 5 Dysfunctions of the Team are nice little stories. You know, the little stories in there, but the thing that almost bothers me about them, to the point is like they're written for like a 3rd grader. But they're very good, the content's very good.
Like I said, it's really good to have your team read it.
That's important. Here's another one, it's called The Slight Edge. It's almost the same book as The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. The Slight Edge is good just to kind of get that mindset, like just every day it's got to get a little bit better. Tomorrow you're not going to wake up and have, 100 people in the Philippines calling, 100,000 people. A little bit, and it's a Slight Edge. That mindset, taking that every day has been very helpful.
I love Slight Edge. It's a great book as well.
Well, thank you, Andrew and Jeff. I want to give you guys a round of applause.